We are tracking the tight race for the White House here on your local election headquarters as counting continues in several states. And former Vice President Joe Biden takes a razor-thin lead in Pennsylvania and Georgia. Dr. Lee Hanna, a political science professor at Wright State University, joins us live as we await these remaining vote counts. You tweeted something interesting today. We talk about how we phrase it as he's taking the lead, but we forget sometimes that these votes have been in. They're just simply being counted now, kind of a reframing.
That is correct, and I think that's the way that we have to think about it. And again, Pennsylvania became particularly problematic because they set a law that said that they could not process ballots until Election Day. And so the boards of elections had to administer Election Day in person on Election Day, and they waited until Wednesday to start processing those ballots that had come in by mail. So it becomes kind of a misleading notion to say that it's like a horse race. The truth is there's just a lump sum of ballots that were postmarked by Election Day that are being processed in a number of states right now.
Obviously, we're watching that 270 electoral vote mark. Joe Biden closer to it right now than President Trump as we continue to watch these votes being counted. But even if the next state is called for Joe Biden, it's not as simple as saying, OK, he's the winner now. What are the next few days or weeks going to look like in terms of recounts or potential legal action that the Trump campaign has mentioned?
Sure. The Trump campaign can certainly look at these results, and if they see anything that is bothersome, they can go to the court systems in those states and make a case for themselves. And they've had a few cases that have already been kind of turned aside at the moment, but perhaps there is something out there that they're seeing. I do know that some of the president's allies have started to push and say that if you don't really have a case or receipts, very soon, then we do need to start working on, bringing the country back together. So this weekend will probably be critical in terms of just how the president, how the vice president communicate to the public about where we are in this election.
Yeah, as we are patiently waiting these results coming in, as you're looking back on this election cycle for all of us here, any surprises, any things in terms of voter turnout, things like that?
Yes, I mean, the turnout was really quite something. It's probably going to break all historical records in terms of percent of voter turnout, as well as just sheer numbers. Joe Biden is going to get more votes than Barack Obama did in 2008, for example. So that is quite remarkable. And then certainly the fact that just so many states were close. That is pretty rare. Normally we are talking about one or two states. It was Florida in 2000. It was Ohio in 2004. But this time around, it just so happened that we've been looking at the same electoral map with 6 states grayed out for the better part of a week. And it's pretty exhausting, but we just have to let the process play out.
Yeah, close and mail-in ballots. It is becoming a bit excruciating for so many people. Dr. Lee Hanna from Wright State University, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Brooke.